Tree Talking Time is brought to you by Conkey's Outdoors. Get all your hound hunting needs at conkeys.com. Welcome to Tree Talking Time, where we talk all things tree dogs, from the smallest fights to the largest hounds, treating squirrels to bears and everything in between. And from time to time, we might even run a little fast game.
Back, let's see, February last year, I know I kind of wrote an article for Southern Hound Hunting about this, but I guess in January last year, I have a friend out in Utah that actually I bought a couple of dogs off of him.
Okay.
One of my best rig dogs, strike dogs, start dogs. Ironically, on a bear, she was a cat dog out west.
Interesting.
And she was doing so good, and I liked her so well. He gave me a call and said, he had another young dog that he was thinking about selling, and said he was really doing a pretty good job on the cats, but he said he could really tell that he would probably be more better fit as a bear dog than a cat dog. So,
yeah.
Gave us a offer on him, so I ended up buying him too. We went out, picked him up, brought him home, and boy, by the time we thought we made a major mistake, because bringing a dog, he hunts for a living. He's a guide.
Yeah.
He hunts 6 days a week, 7 sometimes, and the way my wife and I work, we try to hunt 3 or 4 days a week if health, weather, everything permitting. But
yeah,
old Peanut has been hunted, like I said, every day. It was just a big change for him.
Mm-hmm.
We finally got him on a few bears and got him kind of wound down enough to where he could really, I guess, pay attention. And man, he really just started clicking right along. Just kind of fell right in with our pack.
Mm-hmm.
But Hunter messaged us and invited us out to. He had a week that he didn't have any clients, and invited us out to cat hunt.
Cool.
So, Candace and I, we're not the type of people to just. You better be careful inviting us, because we will show up.
That's awesome.
We he gave us the dates, and we worked it out to where we could be off of work. We took a Bella, the dog I bought from him, because he said, if you think she's a good bear dog, you need to see her on some cats, So, of course, we had to take her, and I wanted to show him how good Peanut was doing, and so it took him, loaded up, and westbound we had it.
That's pretty cool.
We ended up, we made it to Kansas, almost through Kansas, almost in Colorado. The first night we stopped and got us a hotel room. The worst part of traveling is getting from home to where you're going, especially January,
Yeah.
And we tried to look ahead at the weather, but the weather just, that's so far of a drive, you just kind of crapshoot. But
yeah,
we got there, got the dog settled for the night, went to bed, got up next morning. We had plans getting a good start for the day, getting there early, get everything unpacked so we could hunt. We checked out at the hotel room, and we was walking out the door, and the woman behind the desk, she said, by the way, which way are you headed? I said, we're headed west to Utah. She said, the interstate shut down about 20 minutes up the road. And we're like, really? So, we went out, checked the weather ourselves. It was barely even really snow. They had probably 2, maybe 3 inches there then. And we, here, it's got to be a foot of snow or something. And they still don't shut it down. They just tell you travel at your own risk, really. But
yeah.
Got her keys back, kind of hung around the hotel, and she gave us an app on her phone to track the the interstate progress, and it just kept shutting down closer. To make a long story short, we stayed an extra night in Kansas in a hotel room. We got up next day, high hopes, but was still a little worried. They finally got it open for us, so we took off and we made it to Utah about 9:00 at night. A complete day late.
Yeah.
And but we was there. We was ready to hunt, and everything was fine. But when we got there, it was actually started snowing at the house where Hunter lived, and he lives kind of down in the desert. And that was the big topic for us. He lives on the Virginia-Maryland line, is where he grew up.
Mm-hmm.
And he went to Virginia Tech, which is about 2 hours from my house here. So, I mean, he's kind of a local boy, I guess, kind of living us Eastern guys' dreams, I guess.
Yeah.
But he'd invited one of his friends, and he brought a buddy with him from Virginia, which they flew out. But, we stayed up half the night talking about the weather, how it was snowing, and we started just to go on out, not even go to bed, and just start looking for cat tracks. And Hunter just, kind of calmed us down to listen. There'll be plenty of time to hunt. Get you a couple hours of sleep, and we'll get up and hit it in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So, we got up, headed to the mountain, and it was about, I guess, 20-minute drive from the house to where we started on the old mountain road, took up through there. And as soon as we cut off the hardtop, Hunter had some lights on his truck. It shined the edges of the road,
Yep.
So he checked for cat tracks. And we worked our way up through there and got to a fork in the road. And he had a side-by-side with, I call it like tank tracks on it, had snow tracks. And that was just, down here where I live, it's big ATV country. I live in the middle of the Hatfield-McCoy trails.
Oh, yeah.
And, seeing a side-by-side with tracks was just the neatest thing we'd ever seen. Actually, it's a little more fragile than you would expect, but we got it unloaded, and we kind of come up with a game plan. The side-by-side was really cool, but it was slow on the tracks. You had to run it in low gear. So Candace Hunter and I took his truck, took a few dogs, about half the dogs, and we checked all the roads that was passable with the truck. And then his two buddies from Virginia Tech took the side-by-side and checked, the rougher roads.
Mm-hmm.
So we hunted most of the day and we cut some old tracks, but nothing mountain line wise, nothing. They'd all been snowed in. He said, he knew there's plenty of cats in this area. He said, we'll keep, just pounding the roads. He said, we'll find something eventually. Well, we kept coming across a lot of bobcat tracks, like more bobcat tracks than I've ever seen. And he asked, I kept aggravating him because I knew, Bella, I knew she'd run a bobcat from here. I said, let's put on some of these bobcats. And he's like, no. He said, I would really like to get y'all on a mountain line, So we finally got on the old side road. We all got in the side by side and was going up through there, and like I said, just bobcat track. And finally, I don't know if it was me aggravating him or he just couldn't take it or what. So he said, let's stop and put on some of these. So he put out two of his really good, his little Trixie dog and his Poncho dog. And like I said, he raised Bella, so he knew it. So he pitched her out there with him. And the snow was over her knees at this point, up on the mountain. And the dogs it was kind of amazing to watch them just going through the snow. It's just like they was swimming, almost. And they was just burning this bobcat track up. And he just, like I said, pitches them out. And he said, well, let's go on up the mountain. He said, we'll come back later and check on them. It's just such big country. I mean, you don't have to worry about roads. You don't have to worry about somebody else getting your dog or whatever. I mean, you just you can have 3 races going and don't have to worry about them, But we all piled back at Southside, and snaked our way on up the mountain. Well, with no luck of finding a line track. We finally got up there, and actually the side by side wouldn't go anymore. The snow got so deep that it was just picking the side by side up off the ground. And
jeez,
I said, "Has anybody checked on the dogs we got on the ground?" So I got turned around there, and he got the checking. He said, "Well, they're actually coming right at us." So he said, "Well, they're showing trees. They wasn't like 200 yards or something from us. It was just crazy how it worked out." And we wade over through the snow. Like I said, it's probably close to waist deep by this time. It's a way high thigh, and we get over there, and they've got the Bobcat Bay just on the side of a big rock where the wind had kind of blew the snow around and drifted it up, but it kind of had a lower spot there right against the rock, and they had it bayed. Bella, of course, had to get a little too close, and she got smacked a little bit. We pulled the dogs off of it, and we discussed, and Hunter said, he harvested the cat there before we went off the mountain. We got it and brought it off. Kind of called it a day.
Oh yeah.
So next day we get up and kind of starts the same way. We get up there and split up same spot, and Hunter's little Trixie dog. She's probably he says she's the brains of his operation, including him. But she actually was rigging outside the box and struck. And he stops, and, we get out and kind of looking around for tracks and can't find any. He said, "I know she is straight." He said, "I know it's a cat." He said, "But I like to find the track." He said, "Because they'll go backwards." Apparently that's a kind of a big thing on cats is they'll, you got to get them, make sure they're going the right way.
Yep, I've heard
that. So we get out the same 3 dogs that we had on the Bobcat. We got them out and put them down, and they just left out with their nose in the wind. I mean, just up the mountain, got up in these rock ledges there, and all of them giving good mouth, left out just as hard as they could run. And the no hunter, when he looks at you and says, "I'm going to run up here and check these dogs," he's literally going to run up the mountain. Like, he runs with the dogs. Like, I've never seen anything. He's wide open. Just,
yeah.
But he said, "I'm going to run up here and check, see if I can find the track, make sure they're going the right way." So he goes up, and we see him just snake up into the rock ledges, and he hollers back on the radio. We're tracking the dogs there on the long grade in front. He hollers back, says, "We got half the track. They're going the right way." So we holler at the other boys that's on the south side. They come back to us, and we all kind of pile in Hunter's truck, so we can make better time and ride around where we actually lost connection with them and rode back around. They was trees. We drove to get his truck was probably 400 or 500 yards from the tree. So we packed up. Yeah, it was really nice. I was expecting a 2 or 3 mile hike in the snow, but we dumped the box to the rest of them, send them to the tree, and walk in. We get out of the truck, we make it 50 yards. He looks at me and says, "You want to run to the tree?" And I said, "No." "I'll meet you there. Go right ahead." But we get in there, and I noticed walking in that it sounds odd, I mean, the tracker's showing, 400, 300. We're getting closer, but it just sounds, you can just tell it. The dogs should be louder. You should be hearing them better.
Yeah.
I'm looking around. We're in this flat desert. I mean, there's not a tree, a bush, nothing. It's just flashy. And I'm like, I'm starting to question, what's going on here? Well, we get on almost to the tree, and they're in a canyon, and it's just straight off rock. The little bottom, there's like 2 cottonwood trees in the bottom by this little creek, and then the only place that you could really get in and out is right behind the tree where the dogs and the cat come in. It's still steep as it could be, but the dogs, it's passable, I guess I'd say.
Yeah.
And we walk up, and there's this probably 110-pound blind cat. Just when we're basically eye to eye with this thing, because it's up in the tree, and we're on top of this rock cliff, as I call it, canyon wall, and we're just something you have to be there to take in.
That's cool.
Just beautiful, We took, I guess we was like tourists, we had her taking 1,000 pictures and videos and watching, a couple of the dogs was on top of the canyon with us, and I'd walked over to the hunter. I said, how well do they stay in the tree? Do they sit pretty good? He said, well, no, they'll come out. So when it gets tired of putting up with us, they'll come out. I said, well, we need to get these dogs off this, ledge. I said, if it comes out, they'll go off, just fell off of it, going after it. So he said, yeah, I agree. So he went up to the canyon wall there, hooping and hollering, called them with him, and got them down a drainage ditch there, and got everything at the bottom of the tree. He went down with them, was taking some videos and stuff, and I guess the old cat just finally got tired of being messed with, or us taking pictures of it and stuff. It just all once whirled around the tree, down the tree, and on the ground it went. And it was really neat to see at first, And as soon as in my head, like I said, I'm looking down this canyon. I'm on top of a wall on this side, and I look down. There's rock ledge to the left, rock ledge to the right, and one little spot for the cat, which is where it was going up. And I see it kind of hook left. And in the video, I've got a video. I go, oh God, because there's no good ending that I can see getting ready to come out of this. We're either going to have a cat on the ledge with a bunch of dogs, or the cat, they're a lot more athletic or agile than a dog, and I'm maybe the cat can bounce up the ledge, then we're going to have 12 head of dogs or whatever we had on the ledge, or, I said, this is bad. Well, he just keeps going and goes out this little skinny ledge, and here's, like I said, 10, 12 head of dogs just screaming behind him. A couple jump off and go shortcut it. And there's our little Peanut dog, our little 1-year-old Peanut. And old cat gets to the edge of the ledge and just runs out of room. He just stops and it actually just kind of hunkers down. And I'm just waiting for the train wreck, if that makes sense. And Peanut is, full, as hard as he can run, used to bear hunting. He wants to get up there and get a piece of the action.
Yeah.
The cat, like I said, turn around, just waiting, and here goes Peanut, just head first into a losing battle. And the old cat just kind of wads him up and pitches him off. It's about 60 feet. And, jeez. My heart just sank.
Of course.
I'm watching my, future, I guess, best bear dog, just, there he went, So I'm instant to start hollering. Hunter sees the same, so we both got the same reaction. Yeah, one's done went. Now we've got 9 more or 11, whatever it was. We got to, keep from getting the same predicament. So we start hollering, squalling, and calling, and every one of them turns around, starts working back but my Bella dog, which is, like I said, she is my best rig dog, best nose dog.
Mm-hmm.
And she got where the snow was on the rock. She starts sliding. And I'm panicking, and she's trying to get turned around, but she can't quite, and gets to the edge. She just bails. And I'm like, now I'm white as a gut. Like, I literally, when somebody says you get that sick feeling, I think that was an understatement,
Mm-hmm.
on the ground. So I'm just in awe. Just, I don't even have words. The two dogs that I bring from West Virginia out west, and here I am. I thought for sure they was both, if not dead, just mangled.
Yeah.
And he, like I said, Hunter he's calling his back, and they stand up and kind of shake the snow off and start working their way back with his dogs. And
oh, geez,
I'm like,
awesome.
well, thank God for they're alive. Let's see how bad they are. We get them. They come back up out of the canyon up to us, and I'm checking them over head, toe, nose, the tail. I mean, just check their gums, check. I just knew something. Shoot, they like it never happened. I mean, they was kind of little stubbed up, but we took them back, and I got kind of gun shy, so I went ahead and just I put mine in my dog box. We left my truck where we sleep, so I'm gonna put them in the dog box. We go check a road, and I say, "Can we ride back down there and check on them?" And he was pretty shook up too. Hunter was. He thought, he was all game for keeping an eye on them. We go back and check on them, and everything, of course, they was fine. And we go and check another road, and I say, "Hey, can we run back down there one more time?" Just I knew something bad, or I just scared to death. But they were. Peanut was ready to hunt the next morning. He was bouncing off the wall. Bella was just a little sore, but
understandable.
That was probably the scariest experience of, your dogs get close to a road, or, it's always scary. But when you're watching it firsthand, I didn't know. That was the worst, the scariest experience hunting I've ever had.
Mm-hmm. No, I completely understand, and that's very understandable for anybody that runs these dogs. So, before we get too much further, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, Andrew?
I'm from a little town called Rock, West Virginia. Have you ever heard of a one stoplight town?
Oh yeah.
We don't even have a stoplight. So we're right in the edge of the coal country.
Mm-hmm.
The mining industry is, like I said, where you're right. We're the first couple towns first starting into the mining industry, the mining areas.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly what we hunt here around close to our house is the strip mines, and around where they strip mine, the Highwall Country.
Yeah.
The old mines left, abandoned, mining cracks. It's rough hunting, and I tell everybody, I invite anybody to come hunt with me. You're welcome to come hunt, but I tell them, if you like your dogs, don't bring them down here to the Highwall.
Yeah.
And that kind of hints. We call our kennels Highwall Country kennels.
Okay.
I've had hunting dogs all my life. When I was literally, some of my earliest memories is my grandpa had rabbit beagles, and I'd help him feed his rat. I thought he'd get the food out in a cup and hand it to me, and I'd dump it in a bowl. That was my way of helping him feed the dogs. And that was some of my earliest memories. And like I said, we had beagles, my dad and I, when growing up. Then we got some coon hounds when I was I'm going to guess and say around 12 years old when we started coon hunting. We hunted, we mainly hunted walker dogs, registered walkers. My dad really liked the more competition hunting side. Now, I wasn't as crazy about competition hunting. I'd hunt them up, pleasure hunt, and get them ready for him, and he would take them, do a lot of competition hunts. And I've kept a coon hound around since then. And about, I'm going to say 7 years ago, I really got into bear hunting, bear hounds.
Yeah.
And we take them all over the country. We go, last year we hunted, well, I guess year before I hunted 5 states.
Where's that?
West Virginia, Virginia, the North Carolina. We hunted the mountains of North Carolina and the coast of North Carolina.
Okay.
Which is the exact opposite. I'm sure you've heard people. And
vastly different.
Utah and New Mexico.
Nice.
So
that's pretty cool.
Like I was saying earlier, we're not the people to send an invite to if you don't really mean it, because we will show up.
No, that's awesome. It's a lot of traveling and a lot of hunting, but I know we would all, everyone that listens would love to do that. So it's pretty cool that you're able to.
We don't have any kids, or and now we basically work the bear hunt. And I know that sounds bad, but if there's somewhere we want to go, or if there's some country we want to see, we load up the hounds and go make it happen,
No, that's cool. And that's kind of why I wanted to have you on, because I know you've done a lot of traveling, and, a lot of people don't, they hunt their area and that's about it. And so that's why I thought it was pretty cool that you have traveled so much and traveled to different, not just an hour or two down the road. You're packing up and driving across the country.
Yes, sir. I think it's about 30 hours, I think, to New Mexico, and it was 30, 34 or 35 to Utah, something like that. We've definitely learned how to travel with dogs, and we have learned that the easier ways and the love truck stop is your best friend, because they've got the dog parks. Okay. And you can just back up to the gate and dump your dogs into their little fenced yard they have.
Yeah.
And that is the bear hunter or dog hunter's best friend, the love truck stop.
Good to know.
Yes, sir.
Conkeys Outdoors is proud to be a sponsor of Tree Talking Time. Family, hunting, tradition is the Conkeys motto. They understand the importance of passing down the tradition of hound hunting. They are a family-owned business that treats you like family. They also understand the importance of having the gear you need when you need it. Conkeys carries everything for your next hunt, and it ships to your door quick. They also offer great warranties on all tracking systems and financing options. Check them out at conkeys.com. You can also use the code TreeTalkingTime5 in all caps to save as well. You have any other tips for traveling with dogs?
We probably stop more than we really need to. We'll stop about every 4 hours, and my wife and I, we do very well together. We'll take turns, rotate out. One of us will start. We'll drive, like I said, 4 hours. We'll fill up the fuel, get us a snack or whatever. As soon as we fuel up, one of us will go over there, and like I said, we'll put the dogs out, and the other one will go to the bathroom. Then we'll rotate around.
Yep.
The other one watches the dogs while the other one goes in the store or whatever. And load them back up and back on the road again.
There you go.
But you draw a lot of attention when you travel with 6-8 head of dogs. And it's a very good opportunity or educational moment for the public. We try to really give a good representation of bear hunting. first of all, when we go out there, we're going to be hunting hard. So you kind of, our dogs are in shape, so they're a little slim, but they're
Mm-hmm.
not, the backbones aren't hanging out, or
Yeah.
and I feel like that's a big thing when the public, the first impression they get is what your dogs look like. And if you keep your dog, like I said, there's a difference in your dog in shape, muscle tone, and a dog that's malnourished, I'll say.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the public doesn't realize the difference. The public is used to seeing overweight dogs.
Exactly. And we use that as a good time to educate the public. And, like I said, we're going out, we're spending a lot of money to travel. So we put a lot of time in our dogs before we go. That's the first, when you're going on a hunt, the hunt, it starts 2 months or prior to actually leaving. I mean, getting your dogs in shape, and out west, their feet, it's very hard on their feet. I don't know if it's the dry conditions, if it's the type of rock. I'm not, and we treat their feet. We start literally 2 months before the day we leave. We start treating their feet every other day. Then a month before we leave, we start treating them every day.
Okay.
And all the way up till we treat them all the way through when we're hunting. But, and so when we're traveling, our dogs, like I said, are lean, mean, muscle tone, and we teach the public that. And we have, this year we were in, I think, Arkansas or Oklahoma, and we had some gentlemen come up, and they just thought it was amazing. I mean, they asked, I bet, 50 questions about bear hunting and bear dogs, and
Yeah.
can you tree, and it was just a really good opportunity to educate. Like I said, now, they might not ever ever think about bear hunting again, but it was just a very good opportunity. We let them pet the dogs, and just really took our time and, like I said, educated the people that just didn't know any better.
That's awesome.
But that's a really, your image in the public when you're traveling, and like I said, people in Oklahoma, they have probably never seen a bear dog or I'm sure they've seen coon hounds or whatever, but if you're out there beating on your dog or screaming at them or hollering, the people notices these, and that is their first impression of bear hunters or dog hunters in general, So that's just something really that we focus on, is really trying to make a good impression everywhere we take our dogs.
Yeah. No, it's definitely, and I think all houndsmen need to make sure we do that, and it sometimes gets overlooked. So you hunt there in southern West Virginia. You said a lot of cold country, a lot of high walls. So I'm guessing your dogs are used to those high walls. So going out west, probably you're at a little bit more of an advantage than maybe some folks from the East Coast.
Yeah,
with those ledges and high walls out there.
That was exactly what we thought. You know what I mean? That we kind of thought, man, theirs is used to running in these rocks, or in the, like I said, the ledges and stuff. And then daggone, like I said, the first cat we ever see, there we are. But, it takes talk about here a little bit. A lot of times if people bring dogs from the eastern part of West Virginia, what they call the mountain counties, or even down Virginia, North Carolina, it is really hard country for a dog. And they'll, there's a lot of bear. The bear are thick here, but it's because, like I said, they're in tough, rough country. You'll strike a bear, put on it, and the dogs will show treat. I mean, and it don't take long. You go in there, and treed looking up a high wall. The bear has shimmied up, but the dogs hadn't figured out how to get it, or vice versa on the down. He's slid down off of it,
Mm-hmm.
But dogs that's been raised in them, they're smart enough to go. They might have to go, I don't know, 500, 600, 700 yards around a half a mile around out of the high wall and find him a place where he can actually get up,
Mm-hmm.
then come back, get back on the track, and he'll have the bear's getting that much more of a head start on the dogs every time but if, like I say, you bring a dog from that's not used to in the high walls, it'll hang them up. And a lot of dogs get lost in the mines. The bear, just like a hole, just in the mountain, the bear goes in the old mines. They're supposed to be covered up or, fence, but, something happens along the way and, people don't do exactly what they're supposed to, I guess. But, or they dig them out. Literally, I've seen places where the bear will just dig until he gets to the mines, and
mm-hmm.
gives him access. Well, the dogs go in and, some of them just don't come out.
Yep.
It's real. I'll just be honest. That's my least favorite hunting is hunting around the mines and the high walls. But like I said, where I live, it's just kind of a nature of the beast. You kind of take the good with the bad.
Mm-hmm.
Now you get on plenty of bear, and you get a lot of bear get away from you. That know, and just like you train your dogs, you're training the bear.
Oh yeah.
The bear learns that if I go up and down these high walls enough, I'll get away. So
mm-hmm.
he'll go up a high wall and run out to the top and drop back down and drop down the next one below him and come back, and he'll, and they start to learn. The more I do this, the less chance I got of the dogs catching me. So,
yep.
But it's really putting it, like you said, back towards Pat West. We really thought that would be an advantage. Which where we hunting in New Mexico, we wasn't in the rock ledges. Now we was in some places that had a lot of rock bars and stuff in it,
mm-hmm.
and it really. Tell a little quick story. We run a bear across the road, and we packed some more fresh dogs on it, and it went down in over the holler, and a truck come around the race, this old gravel road, mountain road, pulled up. He was a local outfitter out there, and he just kind of was talking to us, and we told him we had some dogs down in there on a bear we just packed, and he said, well, you'll never get a tree down there, it's the rough and rocky, so you'll never get treed. Just as he was saying that, the dogs was popping up treed, and I just kind of turned my Garmin around toward him, so they got it treed now. That, like I said, I think that hunting the shot rock, the strip mines, just really gave us an advantage in that rough country.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure it has. Most dogs aren't used to getting through that kind of country, so. When you went to New Mexico, you said you were bear hunting then?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you've bear hunted, you've cat hunted out west, you've bear hunted the swamps in coastal North Carolina, you've bear hunted in the mountains, multiple states. What's next?
Sir. Well, we'll try to go. We like to hunt New Mexico, and we're going to try to go. We'll probably go to New Mexico, Lord's willing, and next year. This year, excuse me. Next, I'm still on last year. The 2020, we're trying to make it back to New Mexico. We had a rough year this year out there. We've been 3 years in a row.
Okay.
This will be our fourth year.
Mm-hmm.
But the first year we went there and hunted 6 days and we treated 14 bear.
Wow.
And it was just unbelievable. I mean, we couldn't go wrong. And the second year, next year we went out, we treated, we hunted 7 days and treat 6 bears. But we had a little smaller group. There wasn't but 3 of us that went. So if we treated if the first year if we killed a bear, then 2 or 3 of us stayed, got the bear out. 2 or 3 of us would go on, and find another one. I mean, we really pounded the dirt, and we had a little better. It was a little cooler the first year, so we could hunt all day. The last 2 years, it's so crazy the weather out there. It'll be 30 degrees in the morning when you get up, and by 11 o'clock it's 80 degrees. I mean, just crazy. But we really struggled this year. We went out and hunted. We hunted it, I think, 9 days, and we didn't catch. We treed 3 or 4 and laid one on the ground.
Okay.
So I mean, we really struggled. And there was the places that we'd hunted the 2 years before. We had them a lot to ourselves. That one guy I was telling you about, he was hunting around the same areas and stuff. But this year, the first place we went to, there was 9 trucks and 4 side by sides.
Oh, geez.
So opening day, and where did all these people come from? So, and there was just dogs running everywhere, and we'll rig up into the morning if we don't get anything kind of, any good strikes or anything kind of quick. We'll, get out and put a couple dogs on the ground and just beat the brush. Well,
yeah,
it's hard to beat the brush when, like, there's just that many dogs. You don't know what tracks people's already run, or so there was just a lot more people around, and the dogs wasn't in as good a shape this year as we've had them in when we went out. We didn't get to take our best dog out with us, our Dundee dog. He was having some medical, so we got kind of this year's will be a redemption year, I hope.
Good deal.
And we bought us a camper.
There you go.
We would rent an Airbnb, and we would drive. We'd go find a bear. If we had to drive 2 hours, get up in the morning, drive 2 hours, and be somewhere by daylight, that's what we was doing, and just So, and every time the bears is exactly the opposite side of where we are staying. Yeah. So this year we decided we're gonna take us a camper out, and if we hunt here for 2 days and we're not in the bear, we'll pack up and go to another place and stay where we're hunting that way. And I feel like it'll benefit us. Spring of the year, we could take it and go up northern part of the state, somewhere, and just have a long weekend. We can stay in the camper and bear hunt. Just have kind of a relaxing weekends, I guess.
Definitely. I'm sure your camper will get a lot of miles put on it, and
we're hoping so.
No, that's pretty cool that you've gotten to do so much traveling and that you're able to do that. And like I said, I knew you would have some good stories. That's why I was excited to bring you on and hear some of those, because most guys don't get to travel that much. And
yes, sir. We've really been, the Lord's blessed us, and got some. There's a lot. People's got a lot better hounds than what we have. We've just, like I said earlier, we try to give them the opportunity. We put them where we think will be in bear, and we try to like I said, we'll take them wherever we need to try to make them look the best, So, this past year, we didn't get to hunt as hard as we normally do. My wife has end-stage kidney failure, so she started dialysis in, I'm going to say, April. And, our bears really first start getting out in April, so that was kind of slowed us down. We didn't get to hunt much during the spring and the early summer. Once we got her figured out how to do that. Really got her hell. She got the Dallas has really helped her. Got her feeling better and stuff. We started hunting harder, but it should be interesting with her and her Oliver Dallas's machine and medicine and stuff in a camper. So
yeah,
we're taking it see how it goes. We'll put it that way. But,
well, I'm sorry.
We're hoping next year. Wow, she takes it with a grain of salt. It is what it is. She does what she's got to do with it, and she don't let it, really slow her down. We have it's more of a burden, I guess you can say, or a little interference, I guess.
Yeah.
Like we hunt it through the summer. We run our dogs at night where it's cooler on them, and she'll be hooked up. She hooks up to her Dallases every night, so that kind of makes it throw a little curveball and things. But we're starting to get it figured out, and in the 2024 year, hopefully we'll have some. We'll get back on the normal swing of things, hunting them hard, and like I said, we'll be back in New Mexico for sure. Hopefully, we'll. Like I said, we hunt West Virginia and Virginia both. When Virginia has a chase season and a regular kill season. West Virginia we have year round season.
Yep.
I'm 30 minutes where I live to the Virginia line, and I've got a lot of some buddies that hunt down there, and we got a lot of access to the cornfields. And August when their chase season comes in, we'll go down and help the farmers run the bear out of their corn and stuff. And it's
nice.
That's some of my favorite hunting. It'll kind of spoil you,
Oh,
but
yeah.
So we'll definitely be in Virginia, West Virginia, and New Mexico, and seeing that. Just depending on where the wind blows us, I guess, or where we end up. It's hard to tell.
Yeah. No, that's awesome, and I wish you the best this year. We'll definitely have to have you come back on and tell us about your adventures this year.
Oh, for sure. And we will definitely have some interesting bear stories for you.
Good deal.
Like the cat's kind of, I guess some of our more exciting, or one of our most exciting stories there was, a lot of people don't. That's something a lot of people don't get to experience.
Definitely not.
Old bear. But now Candace, she likes the cat hunting. I kind of thought it was a little more slower paced. I don't want to say boring, but you spend a lot of time. You got to have patience, and I have. That's something I am learning as a houndsman is patience.
Yeah.
She, like I said, she's probably one of the more patient people I've ever seen, and you spend a lot of time staring at the truck window at the ground.
I'm not the most patient person either, and
now it's fun. Like I said, I'm not going to take that from it, but you have to. It's a lot of walking and a lot of, like I said, patience, staring out the window. But now the bear hunting, which we do, I get bored riding around rigging. If we haven't, like I said, got on anything pretty quick, I hate sitting in the truck. I'll jump out and grab 3 or 4 dogs, and I'm beating the brush somewhere, So
yep.
I enjoy the busier aspect.
Yep. No, I get it. So, well, I really appreciate you coming on here, Andrew.
Yes, sir, and I appreciate you having me, and I've enjoyed I hope I helped somebody, or
yeah. Got some good tips for traveling, and that's for sure.
The only thing I can say is don't be afraid to load them up and go somewhere new. That's enjoy. If there's somewhere you ever wanted to go, throw the dogs in the truck and take off. The only thing stopping you is you. You know, the dogs, the bear smells the same whether you're in, like I said, we hunted, it was negative 11 feet elevations, what the Garmin said, when we was in the swamp in North Carolina. And we hunted in 10,000, 11,000 feet in New Mexico. Yeah. So, I mean, the dogs handled you might have a small learning curve, but hey, put them on the ground. That's the best way to do it.
They'll figure it out.
That's right.
Good deal. Well, thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Yep. As always, be sure to check out the sponsors, Conkey's Full Cry and W. Get all your hound hunting needs, and be sure to check them out. So, until next time, thank you. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram at Tree Talking Media. And until next time, keep them talking in the timber.